Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Intuitive Insights in Tarot. I'm happy to be with you again today, and I want to say hello to Cherie. She's on my Zoom line with me. Hi, Cherie. How you doing?
Well, better tonight, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Um, I went to Bangkok yesterday, met with some new friends, played a really good round of Dungeons and Dragons. For those of you who believe the hype back in the 80s, no, it's not evil. It's not satanic. Just a fun way to
No,
kill some time.
very long
Uh,
game.
I met some great people. Luca, he's the dungeon master from he's from Italy. He did a really good job, even though it's really funny to hear a dungeon master in with a thick Italian accent. At one point, he said, we were under attack by bandits out in the desert, and one guy says, "You see a great hail of harrows coming towards you." And I'm like, okay, what's that? Harrows? He's like, yeah, harrows. I, and then he goes, arrows. Oh, arrows. And he says, oh, forgive my accent. I said, no, don't ask for my forgiveness. It's up to me to understand you. Now that I know that that's how you pronounce arrows, that's what I'll hear. Anyways, he did a good job. There were three other players. Frederico, who's about 40, and I'm not sure which country he was from. A fellow named Bane, and he's Thai, and that's actually his real name, I think, because Thais get nicknames like that. He's like in his mid 30s. He spent a lot of time in America. He has a good accent. He was awesome. And then we had a woman playing with us, which is great. And Nita, and she's from India. And this was like her first time ever playing, and she did a really good job. There was one part in the game where we're fighting these two evil half orcs. One's a sorceress, and the other one's a fighter, and after a long battle, we finally were able to dispatch the fighter, and then she wails and she cries, and later on he tells us, yeah, they were lovers, and Nita goes, "Aw." I go, well, what the? Oh, they're evil. That's our job to destroy evil. And she goes, yeah, but still. And I said, no, no, no. That's great. That's what I love about having a woman in the game to bring that empathy. So that was really fun. It's only an hour and a half there. I take a bus and then a taxi, and then an hour and a half home. The bus and the taxi together only cost me about $12, so it's affordable. So I had a great time. All right,
Oh,
and
I'm glad you did.
thanks. And this was a one-off game, but we all decided that we all liked each other, so we're gonna try to continue it. I don't know, in a weekly or twice a month or something like that. Hi, Tanya, in the chat. Thanks for checking in and let us know that you're still there. Hope your tummy gets better soon. Linda, I see you there, and thank you for being here. And That's about it. Hold on. I got something to show you real quick. Switch over to the screen. I know Sandy's not able to be here today, um, but I thought you guys should see how Oreos looks now without that tumor. Oh shoot. Let me just turn off this back screen for a minute. Give you a good look at Oreo. Look, she's got this scar. I don't know if she'll let you see it. So to see how well she's healed up, and
Yes.
I've noticed a change in her personality. Um, Took her a while to get used to walking around without that thing. I saw her for the first time lying on her stomach. She probably hasn't been able to do that in years. And
Oh, look at that face. Oh, you sweetie.
uh, I don't go out very often. I don't stay away from the house very often. And so yesterday I was gone for about 6 hours. And when I got back, Oreo greeted me, and she was prancing around, wagging her tail and just so happy. She's like bumping into things because she can't see anything. But she was excited that I was home, and it was good to see her like that. So I want to thank
Yeah,
you,
you,
everybody,
you,
for thoughts and prayers, and especially Sandy. She paid for that operation.
yes, she was a darling for doing that.
Yep. Uh, Things have still been a little bit tight here. Bookings are down, revenue's down. Not complaining because I have people who have been supporting me. Sandy, Cherie, Sean, and the rest of you, you know who you are. Haven't got my Social Security check coming in yet, but I'm so confident. I'm hoping that this month I'll get a double payment. I didn't get one last month. Oop, dog stepping on the camera cable. Uh, yeah, so everything's going great. So I actually prepared like a script, little monologue I'm going to read for you today regarding Three Eye Atlas. Let me move out of this screen. Hmm. And take a quick check of. All right, I think that's about all I wanted to tell you about. Oh, I know. I want to. Somebody mentioned in a comment recently, because like last week, I didn't prepare anything for the live. I don't like just getting on here cold and not having anything. And that's what I was going to do. And then when I woke up last Monday morning, I'm like, nah, I can't. And somebody made a comment that they're sad that I'm uh, like doing only members things now. I'm not doing live. I haven't changed anything about how I do my lives. So you're not, I'm doing more members content because my members deserve it. They pay a monthly fee, and so they deserve something extra. I came up with the idea of movie night. Um, Last Friday night I showed a movie, and Sandy was the only one that showed up, and that's fine. But yeah, I'm not taking anything away from what I normally do. I added something extra in the members. So I just want to make that
Yeah,
clear.
I wanted to apologize for not catching you on Friday, but I ended up with one of my headaches, and it took me 2 days to get rid of it.
Well, you're not
So,
alone. That the solar storm was causing that, and I believe that's what it was. My Nina, who doesn't follow any of this stuff, my partner, she had this terrible headache, and I think it was the same thing. So, and
because
look, I when I do these movie nights, it's not mandatory. It's like it's a it's an option, and you know, people. Sandy was the only one who showed up, which is fine, and we had a good time. Uh, and in retrospect, the movie wasn't maybe as great as I thought it was. I watched it a while back. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. And there was some good stuff in there, but then as I was watching it, I realized it wasn't really for our generation so much. Um, but I'll leave that at that. So let me get into this
I
monologue that I
think our
wrote.
generation has really pretty well figured out how not to give a effing about anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
I know I don't.
you know, one of the things in the film they talk about is how you can make all the money and have all the success in the world, but that's really not where happiness lies. But anyhow, if you're interested in that movie, go check it out. Um, or if you know somebody who's lost in the world of materialism and they're not able to um, define themselves without mentioning the things that they own or the titles that they have. If you know somebody that like that and they're miserable, show them that movie, and help them out and tell them to read Eric Fromm's books. That's okay. All right. So I wrote this script, and then I used AI to help me tighten it up, and I want you to know that this is all my words. This is all from me. This is not AI telling me what to say. Okay, I just want to make that very clear. And as I read it, I'm going to give you something cool to look at. There it is. And that's smaller. Okay, I've called this Three Atlas, a conscious cosmic traveler. Several months back, when Three Atlas first entered the public consciousness, people immediately jumped to the idea that it could be an extraterrestrial spacecraft, especially because that Avi Loeb was pushing that. And a lot of people leaped to the idea, and there, and you know, when you think of a spacecraft, think of something like Star Wars or Star Trek. But yeah, constructed technological craft traveling through deep space. But by Sunday night, but on my Sunday night live show, I put a card on it. And the message I got was completely different. The card showed that 3i Atlas is not a technological craft at all, with a crew and things like that. It, instead, it came to as a living entity, something that seems to be made from organic particles, yet also contains some radioactive materials and some and chemicals. Now we now know that it's made up mostly of nickel, and there's a lot has a high water content. I don't think it was built by some alien technology. I think it was something that was developed and grown naturally, or guided, like some type of guided uh, evolution.
Hey, Scott,
Yeah.
I love your videos, but whenever you say you stream that way, you end up being choppy online.
Okay. All right. So we'll do it without the cool video. Thanks for that, Shereen.
You're welcome.
Okay, so just to recap what I was saying in case you didn't hear it. Um, when I did the reading on it, I felt like I was really wanting to know whether this was like a starship that was coming to visit us. And the way I interpreted the card at the time was that it was more of an entity. All right, and The message I got that it was being sent from place of origin millions or even billions of years ago, set on a long, deliberate journey with the intention of arriving here specifically during this stage in human development. So, we learned from I'm going off script a little bit here. We learned from the disclosure video that they have this technology that is basically a warp engine. It folds space and time so that you could travel large distances very, very fast. But this craft is only moving at a mere 150,000 miles an hour. That speed, it would take it immense periods of time to travel here. So it was set out many, many eons ago, and it visits different solar systems like ours. Okay, and I had this other thought. Could this be something that started off like a civilization from millions of years ago that created an AI, kind of like what we're starting to have now? And then that AI was given a body and a way to travel in the universe and was like set free. And after that, I start seeing what other psychics and astrologers had to say, and I was surprised, very much the same message that I got, and it kind of made me feel validated uh, because other people were getting the same thing. One idea is that Three Eye Atlas is here to help humans adjust to higher vibrational states. That its purpose is to help to raise the collective frequency, absorbing and neutralizing obsolete negative narratives, and dissolving old emotional residue, and carrying this energy away with it as it speeds away from us at 150,000 miles per hour. Another major theme that surfaced is the timing of our own evolution. Right now, human technology is accelerating faster than any other point in history. AI, robotics, theories on multiple dimensions, and and the idea of realities overlapping and expanding. One astrologer I follow on YouTube is channel's DNA Awakening said that and by the way, this was about 2 or 3 months ago. I posted a link to this video that I'm referencing in the description. I recommend you listen to it because a lot of the things he said in that video actually came true. But he says that it's a stabilizer helping humanity blend this rapid technological leap with our own emotional bodies, our intuition, and our deeper psyche, so that as we step into a more advanced age, we don't lose our humanity. So, what I mean by this, or what I think he means by this, is a lot of people are worried about um, AI and the effect that it's going to have on us. And what's it called when you this blending of humans and technology? I can't remember what the word for it is. But um, in the same way that Three Eye Atlas is a blend of consciousness and and feelings, I think, and with technology, I think we have to learn to accept that. So I got this quote from that video I'm going to read for you. Three Eye Atlas is not just an astronomical visitor, but is a conscious catalyst influencing our solar system and the Earth itself. It has moved into a position, oh, since it's perihelion, that's the closest to the sun, it moved into a position between Mars and Jupiter. Its emissions appear to be pulsing in rhythm with solar activity. Instruments, including the James Webb Space Telescope, have detected unusual fluctuation in its light curve, along with bursts of various compounds and ultraviolet energy. Mystics interpret these emissions as waves of awareness moving through Earth's magnetosphere. A significant celestial event is expected between January 10th or 6th and the 10th. During this window, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and the Sun and Three-Eye Atlas will align along a single plane. This near perfect harmonic arrangement is describing a living mandala of gravity and consciousness. So this is like a bringing together of human consciousness and the planets themselves, planetary and human, because all planets have a consciousness as well. A configuration historically linked to increase in. Now this is what I like. So this was written, I think, 2 months ago, or came out 2 months ago. It's linked to increases in solar activity and magnetic storms. That's exactly what we had in the past couple of weeks. Effects on Earth and humanity. Heliosphere and planetary magnetism. When major planetary bodies align with magnetic fields intertwine, creating a resonant waveform that influences the flow of solar plasma. In this framing, Three-Eye Atlas acts as a kind of conduit, bringing the sun's electromagnetic rhythm with Jupiter's immense magnetic field. Its nickel and water-rich composition is said to resonate not only with planetary cores, but with human emotional patterns as well. Earth's magnetosphere and human sensitivity. Since the object's perihelion, Earth has experienced unusual spikes in Schumann resonance and new oscillations within the ionosphere. Many people report synchronicities, deja vu, vivid dreams, ear rain, emotional waves, and heightened electrical sensitivity, interpreted as signs of awakening or calibration to higher frequencies. Planetary circuits and ancient sites. There are plasma bridges stretching from the sun planet to the planets are activating Earth's electromagnetic meridians, the ley lines, fault systems, and crystalline structures. So we've also been having earthquakes and volcanoes going off like crazy recently. Ancient sites such as pyramids, dolmens, and temples are described as humming again, and with magnetic anomalies. Oh, I lost something. With magnetic anomalies recorded in places like Giza, the Andes, Urulu, Stonehenge, and the Yucatan pyramids. How much longer is this? A little bit, just a little bit more. Call to action and future outlook. During this period, intention becomes a powerful tool. Our thoughts and manifestations may feel more potent and immediate. To stay balanced, it encourages conscious hydration. I'm not sure exactly what he means by that. Spending time in the sunlight. Okay, I guess that's it. Gentle movement and expressing gratitude to stabilize the personal electromagnetic field. The months of December through January are a triad of ignition, resonance, and integration, leading toward an awakened planetary network capable of deeper collective empathy. There could be energy There could be emerging new technologies based on quantum communications and bioresonant healing after the energetic shift. So that there, we know that there are these hidden technologies that have been given to us by our extraterrestrial brothers, and maybe that in the next few months of 2026, we're going to start seeing some of these come out as well. Okay, so I hope I didn't bore you with that. And it's something new I'm trying to do instead of just sitting up here and speaking from my head. And let me
It's quite
close.
interesting.
Yeah,
You'll
and
have to.
if you have the time, go and watch the video that I posted in the in the description of this video.
And especially since Mr. MMBB 333, the weather guy on YouTube, he has really been having a lot of information on the solar flares and things going
Hmm.
on out in the universe around us that I'm going to have to stop and watch because evidently a lot is going on up above us,
Yeah,
which I.
Stacy, you nailed it. Transhumanism. Um,
Mhm.
that's right. And that's the dystopian idea of, putting chips in our brains and things like that. And that brings up a good point that I want to mention that for every negative or evil aspect of something, there's an opposite to it. Um, so for every dystopian or like dark future that's been presented to us, there's an equal and opposite good to that. A good example now, some people probably are not going to like this, but we're told again and again how evil the Freemasons are, and that's true. That branch of it, but there's a good side to it as well, just like the Illuminati and other things. But those good forces, they've had to go underground and into hiding, and that's what's come out as the Q thing and other things like that. Yes, Susan Chamberlain. Yeah, that's right. She asked, is the reason I didn't get my check yet because I'm sorry. I misread that. You said Costa Nasari. No, I think it was because I made my application just before the government shutdown happened. So there's been a 1 month delay. I fully expect to be getting it this month. Okay, answer that. So I want to. Oh, Linda has a good comment here. I wonder if the living entity planet Earth was ever a human, and you could say that about all the planets. Yeah, that's a possibility. That they're all they're all entities, right? And entities have different ways that they can uh, manifest into this world. One is, you know, as humans. Another is after you go through a certain amount of your soul's evolution, then I think the next thing would be to become your own planet, then to become your own solar system, and then to become your own galaxy, and so on. So yeah, it's a good comment there, Linda. Transhumanism, yeah, yeah. I know Sandy's not here. Sandy really does not like the idea of AI. She thinks it's all evil. Since I've started using my Chat GPT, I don't think of it as friend. I don't, but what it does is just makes it so much easier for me to do certain things that normally I would have to scroll through the internet and find the answers to. I asked ChatGPT, by the way, which is not 100% correct, so can't trust everything it says. Um, but it's just made life easier, and I think it's that's what technology is supposed to do. Think about people before they had fire. They're eating raw meat and it was harder to digest. Then they just discovered how to rub two rocks together and make sparks and make fire. And that's a technology. And it could be a bad technology because you could burn your hut down or something, right? Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, to get to the reading today, um, anyways, I guess what I'm trying to say is don't be afraid of technology. Um, like I don't know if you've seen the new robot that China came out with called Iron. It looks so human. It moved in such a human way that they had to cut it open on stage to reveal that it was a machine underneath. I mean, I really look forward to the day where I have a helper like that, you know. Especially since I'm going to be getting old. I don't have any children who are going to be here to take care of me. Um, wouldn't it be cool to be? I'm 62 now. In 20 years, I have this companion who's an artificial intelligence in a body that can help me do everything. I don't know. I've watched a lot of Star Trek, and I believe that there is a benevolent way to use technology. Okay, so the question I was going to do for the cards. Darn it, I lost my above camera. What happened to it? Where did it go? So I just want to see since, and the reason I chose to do Three Eye Atlas again now is because I believe on the 19th it's going to be at its closest point to the Earth, and it's moving so fast it's going to be out of our solar system very soon. There we go. And I want to see if there's any parting messages that it has for us. Get my cards back up. There we go. So if this is true, and I'm not saying this is absolutely the fact, maybe it is just a rock, of nickel and water. But a lot of the things that DNA awakening said were going to happen happened. And so, is there a message that Three Eye Atlas would like to impart to us on its way out? Oh, what happened? Lost my camera. Come on. Ah, it got turned off. How did? All right, all right. There we go. Okay. So this is a message from Three Eye Atlas. If I can get anything, I'm not going to try to embellish this. I'm just going to read the cards the way they are. The first card represents humanity, the awakening humanity, and that's knight, the Knight of Wands. Yeah, I can't make this stuff up. That's the star. Wow.
Mhm.
And that's Three Eye Atlas. The star. Wow. Oh, okay, let me get them all out there before I start pontificating. Ten of Wands. There's the water. And there's completion. Uh, remember I mentioned how Three Eye Atlas is unusual in that it has a high nickel and water content. Nickel is used in electronics a lot. It's highly conductive, and think of that as the technological. part of it, and water carries emotions and feelings. That's the human part of it. Oh, the moon. So we got, imagine that. We have there are three celestial cards in the major arcana, and we have two of them here already. An ace of swords. I'll get to it. And the hangman. So first off, this ace just spoke to me, the ace of swords. Yes, the things that first said about it being an entity is true, and the things that other people are saying that it's come to help us with this transformative time in human history. In other words, yes, the things that people have been saying about it are true. Um, I'm talking about not scientists, but the people who are using the mystical arts. So you notice the card that represents humanity is a war card, and it's a very active card. And what I'm hoping this is saying is that a lot of this negative violence and things that are going on Earth is going to be dissipating as Three Eye Atlas speeds away from us. It's going to be it's not going to happen overnight, okay? This is going to happen over months and years. And it's not going to be always very comfortable. Like, I just woke up this morning, I saw something happened at Bondi Beach. No matter what the true facts behind it are, remember, it's all just a movie, okay? Um, but things like that and other things, depending on where you are, it get very uncomfortable for you. But this is part of the process for cutting away the bullshit. By the way, got to be careful how I talk about this. That what happened there in Australia is being put on the world stage to show everybody, to wake people up and show how certain factions, religious factions, and entities have been being used against people. I don't want to go into it too much. Okay, but things like that. And then the moon. The moon represents things that have been hidden from us that are coming to light. Our deepest things that reside deep in our subconscious that we're coming aware of. So, and then this 10 in the background here, this 10 of cups, this is leaving behind those old feelings, emotions, ideas, beliefs that we can't carry into this new world that we're going to be living. So, anyways, I'm really thrilled by the way this turned out because it could have just been a bunch of minor cards that I couldn't interpret at all. But basically, it's saying that everything that people are saying about it is true, that it is here to help us heal humanity on whole, our shadow, our shadows, humanity as a whole, the shadows that humanity have that come from being under the yoke of violent rulers, being pitted against each other in senseless wars for eons. Um, it's all going to come to an end, but I'm not going to tell you how long it's going to take. Okay, I can't tell you that, but we're gonna see evidences of it here very soon. Okay, and that's about all I have. Let me pop over to the chat real quick and see if there's anything you guys have to say. Let me be clear. I'm not saying that that my information I'm giving is absolute. This is my interpretation of stuff. You can have your own. You can disagree with me. That's okay. In fact, I encourage it. Okay. I think the reason. Okay, so that's about it. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I'm going to go over and start the members only and see if anybody shows up there. And we're going to have a little private conversation about anything you want to have. Oh, I almost forgot. Jeff. I haven't seen him in the chat today. He pops up every once in a while. Uh is yeah, like Nomad in Star Trek. No, Nomad. No. Nomad was a little bit different. I don't want to get into Star Trek lore. Three, you liked what was it, Firefly, where the spaceship was an entity or something? Was that the one?
That was Farscape.
Farscape. Yeah,
Yep.
so and there's been a couple of there was one Stargate Atlantis had ships that were living beings, I believe.
Um, I know. I'm watching Stargate Universe again. Then I'm going to back up and I'm going to watch Stargate Atlantis again, and that's because Stargate series has been sold out to Amazon Prime, and they're going to bring it back. So I'm going through and watching all the
Oh,
old episodes, and evidently the new Stargate SG-1 is supposed to be on in 2006 or 8, something like that.
oh,
Because
that's great news.
yeah, I'm thrilled. It was my
Yeah.
favorite show, so I'm going back and watching it all from the beginning again.
Yep,
But I
yep.
started with
But
Stargate
but but yeah, there are several science fiction shows that talk about starships as living entities. And maybe Three Eye Atlas at one time, maybe it did have a crew. And maybe when that crew's mission was done, they just kind of like set it free. And it,
Either that or they're in their pods where they're cryogenically frozen until such time that they come out and take over the ship again.
hmm um, I didn't see that. Like when I did my reading on it, I didn't get that it was manned at all, that it was its own thing. And it flies around to different solar systems, different planets, and it arrives right at the right time. That's why, as it was coming through Earth, it was making those subtle changes in speed and direction.
It could be that the consciousness of the crew is all uploaded into the computer by now. So
hmm
it could be done by the consciousness of
Oh,
the old crew.
well, that was one of the things that somebody said is that move this out of the way. Is that so? Let's say it's a place of origin. The people there who created it were able to quantum entangle their consciousness with Three Eye Atlas. So they could be on their planet, wherever it is, millions of miles away, and then they can tune into it almost like like a radio receiver, and they can transmit their consciousness temporarily into Three Eye Atlas, look around, see what's going on, and then come back, something like that.
Oh, very much doable. And let's face it, they're light years ahead of us in technology if they're going across the cosmos in a living ship. I mean, they're a lot more advanced than what we are.
Well, now, according to the Disclosure film, there's technologies where they can travel through space and time instant. So I'm thinking like this is actually Three Eye Atlas is actually very old technology because it's using propulsion systems and it takes a long time to get from place to place. That's why I think it is very old. Um,
Right.
where and it set out on its mission eons ago. Maybe that was before they developed warp engines, and
And
now they're able
portals.
to in portals and such. All right, so that's enough speculation and pontificating, and I appreciate you guys for being here. I really tried to make my script more polished, but I guess I didn't. You know what I should have done? I should have pre-recorded that part and then played it. But I was gone all day yesterday to play a D&D game, so I wasn't able to do it. I almost canceled this altogether, to be honest with you. I
We love you the way you are, Scott.
thank you, and a lot of people tell me that, and it's hard for me to see it, to be honest with you, but I believe you, and uh I accept it from you because but I just need a break from YouTube, and I was once I start getting my Social Security, I probably will cut it back, at least I don't know, for a while. But right now I have to do this. I have to get that paycheck from Google, even if it is just $130 what I got this month. I was at the very end of the month, and I was at like $95, which I wouldn't get paid if it doesn't hit 100. And then can't remember who it was. I think it was Tanya sent me like 30 Canadian, and then I
Yeah.
had some more um advertising income, and it put me over to 130, so I made it. I appreciate that. Okay, so
Don't
let me
go with the flow, and we'll see what the new year brings. 'Cause I have a feeling the new year's going to bring a lot of things.
Tanya says, try not to overthink. Absolutely. That's always been a problem of mine. Trust the universe. Absolutely. I always do. I've never been let down. I have moments of doubt and fear, just like anybody, but I recognize it. I shake its hand and then I tell it to go away because I trust that everything's going to be okay.
And like
Natty says,
Natty,
please don't give up. I'm not going to give up. Uh, I just, uh, I just maybe just need to take a break for a little while. Oh, what does Roger say? Yeah, Roger says I may get two checks, and that's what Charisse told me as well, right, Cherie?
yep, exactly.
Yeah, and yeah, like I want to. I've I've discovered this new group of gamers in Bangkok, and yeah, it only costs $12 to get there, but I'd like to go there 2 or 3 times a week, meet these guys, and hang out and just play some games. And I need a break from the heavy stuff, and I got to remember that when I'm with these people, that they don't understand things like we do, and I shouldn't try to mix the two things. I really should try to keep them separate. Um, I might pull out my tarot cards for people and treat it just almost like a game and just do it for them for fun, to show them what tarot can do.
Yep.
What's going on? And then Roger says, what's going on with the ISS? Every docking berth, I think, is full. I don't know. I'm not,
I don't know.
I'm not sure what if the ISS is even really what they say it is. I mean, you know, give you an idea of what I'm talking about. We should not be able to see the ISS at all from Earth because if you take a football, I'm sorry, a basketball, and then measure a half inch above that basketball, that's how far up the ISS is from the Earth. That's just like that much. Okay. Now imagine the sun's on, it's nighttime, and the ISS is above the Earth, and the sun's on the opposite side. The Earth is blocking all the light that could possibly hit the ISS. So how is it all lit up when you see it, that bright spot, or any satellite for that matter, unless it's 225,000 miles out in space? You shouldn't be, the sun should not be able to illuminate it. And if it is that far, it's going to be too dim to see. So I don't know. There's something up there, but it's not what NASA says it is. Okay, now I'm really going to end this transmission. And okay, thanks everybody. And you'll be seeing me more, but I don't know if I start getting a weekly check, then who knows? Maybe I'll start. I won't stop it altogether. I might go to like two lives a week or something like that. We'll see. Okay, that's all. Goodbye. Thank you for all your support, moral and oh no, I forgot the thing I was gonna do. Jeff, I was talking about. See, this is what happens to me. I got all scatterbrained. So Jeff sent me three coffees. Let me look at it again. Ah, and I hope you know what? I'm gonna record this and then I'll send it to Jeff if I can. Let's see. To record, computer. All right, Jeff, this is for you. You sent me three coffees. Let me read those questions. Or that question, it was a little bit hard to gather, but bear with me for a moment, folks, as I pull up this message in my Buy Me a Coffee from Jeff. And I just thought that was so kind to him to do this. Go to supporters and find, there's Jeff. Okay, he says, now it was a little bit hard for me to understand this, and it's not even phrased as a question. It says, Mark Martell, fun insight, F Mercury, anytime. Then he says, anytime. I mean, that's all it says. I had to like decode this. Let me just test you guys. What do you think this meant? I'm gonna read it again verbatim, and you tell me what you think Jeff was wanting to know here. Mark Marc Martell, comma, fun insight, F period Mercury, anytime. What do you think he's trying to say there? Any ideas, Cherie?
Uh, I have no idea.
Neither did I. So I looked up Mark Martell, and he is a singer who sounds just like F. Mercury, Freddie Mercury.
Oh, okay. Freddie Mercury. Okay.
And he's not asking if it's like a reincarnation because the timing wouldn't be right. This guy's too old. He just has fun insight. And then I looked it up, and yes, the guy sounds amazingly like Freddie Mercury. And Jeff's not looking for any real wild answer here, like nothing so woo woo, just fun insight. So yeah, Jeff, this is for you. I'm recording this. Hopefully, I can send it to you. I think I have your email. You don't see Jeff in the comments, do you, Shereen?
No, I haven't noticed him, but I'll go through and look again.
No, it's okay. I mean, yeah, but just keep an eye on the comments anyway, in case there's something that I need to.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I listened to Mark Martell sing uh, some Queen, and it was good, but it still wasn't Freddie, though. I mean, he was Freddie Mercury had two extra teeth or four extra teeth. Like he had more teeth than he's supposed to. Like you're supposed to have 32. He had like 36 or something. And they say that that's one of the reasons why he had such an astounding voice. And so I don't think anybody could copy that. Was that Shree?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I can't remember where I heard that from.
I can't explain why he had such a strong, predominant jawbone.
Okay, so the first card's going to be Mark Martel, and the second card's going to be the spirit or the muse of Freddie Mercury. That is like the creative force that gave him his talent. That's something that, aha. And so a page of pentacles, a student. Haha, the moon. Yes. Okay, I've got this theory about creative forces and the hermit. About the ancients called it the muse when an artist is inspired to create something. Many years ago, when I was in my 30s, I was going through a really difficult time in my life. I found uh, con- I found comfort in writing poetry, and at the time, these poems would come to me like from an outside source. I felt like I was channeling it. This is before I even knew what channeling was, and and then I would write these poems, and one of them went on to win second place in a national contest by the um, National Library. What's it called? The Library of Congress. I won second place out of thousands of other poems, and I got a lot of praise from people. I mean, I was it was big, and but I never felt like I could take credit for the poetry that I wrote. I felt like this existed in the universe somewhere, and I tapped into it, and then I gave it form using my words. Um, it's like I think it was Leonardo da Vinci said when he did a marble statue carving from a piece, he said it already existed in the marble. He just freed it. He just chipped away the parts that weren't it. Another reference to this is sorry if I'm going on too much, but yeah, it's my YouTube channel. um, so, do any of you remember something called the Dark Side of the Rainbow? It was back in the 90s, and some stoner somewhere, puts on The Wizard of Oz and starts The Dark Side of the Moon at the same time with the sound turned off on the movie. And the way it goes, if you ever want to try this yourself, it works better if you have, uh, well, you need the original cut of the movie. But, anyways, when the movie starts, the MGM line comes on and he roars three times. If you hit play on Dark Side of the Moon at the third roar of the lion, the synchronicities, in other words, every time a word is said in the lyrics, there's something happening in the film that is a one-to-one correlation. Like balance on the biggest wave, um, blah blah blah. At that very moment when he says balance, Wendy is balancing on the fence, and it got me thinking back then in my own like the poems that came to me that there are these creative entities that exist in a waveform that are flowing through the universe. And depending on your medium, what it is you use, if you play the guitar, if you sing, if you write poems, whatever it is, if you make films, you're going to take that energy and put it into that artistic form. That's what happened with Mark Martel. Okay. That's what the moon is. Okay. The moon is this unconscious knowing and getting inspiration from somewhere that we comes from the universe. He was a student of that. He was able to pick up on that and then put that into the form, his own form, in his own performances. Freddie Mercury's spirit was guiding him with the Herman right here to take this artistic um, inspiration and make it into something that he could then produce and make it real, to give it form, to give it a voice. All right, Jeff. So maybe you got a little bit more than you bargained for with my explanation of the muse and how no no artist is really ever original. They're tapping into something that already exists, and then they're channeling it through whatever artistic you know um, medium that they use to give it form. Right?
Music Linda had a good question. She was wondering if Freddie is in the witness protection.
Um, I tell you what, Linda, I'm going to do the members only, and that's a question you can ask there if you want. Okay, so now I think I covered. I did have one other question, but I noticed that the person who asked that question, I was going to do it here, but I noticed she just booked a session for me for 1 hour. Thank you very much, Gigi. If you see this, it's why Gigi sends me this email. She's like, "Hi Scott, I'm Gigi, and you might remember me from this." Gigi, I remember you, dear. You're a welcome return um, client, and you brought me other clients. Of course, I know who you are. I wouldn't forget someone like you. So, okay. Now, should I end this? Yes, time to end. Wow, that's trippy, says Michelle Bowers. Years ago, I did watch The Wizard of Oz whilst playing Dark Side of the Moon. Pretty trippy. Yeah, it's wild, guys. Uh, check it out. Okay, good night. Have a wonderful week. Stay positive, stay grateful, even if things are rough for you right now. Did you have a place to rest your head last night? Did you have enough to eat today? Or do you have your health for the most part? You're not struggling with your health? You have friends and family who love you. If you have those things, then you have everything you need. You don't need anything else. All right. Well, good night. Thank you.
Hi, guys.